Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro, and it's time for Golden Globes predictions. The first televised awards of this year are the Golden Globes, and we have to predict them. They're on Sunday. And everything that wins will automatically be heralded as the new frontrunner, won't it?
Yep, just like last year how the Fabelmans took director and best film, and Banshees took best comedy film and best screenplay. You know, very closely tied to the Oscars, very in sync.
But Angela Bassett won.
Yeah, I mean, how many categories even overlapped last year? I mean, the actresses
Last year it was
were easy.
historically low.
The voting body is so different from even last year to this. As reflected in the nominations, which were a little unexpected, like leaving The Color Purple out, putting Zone of Interest in Best Film, putting Celine's song in Best Director for Past Lives. The voting body seems more serious about like seeing all the movies.
Well, not only that, but in terms of the winners, apparently the Golden Globes didn't invite a lot of the original HFPA members, or I think all of them, to attend, and so many of them are boycotting. Apparently like 60 plus of them are boycotting, and there's only like 100 of them anyway, so they have very little influence, the original HFPA. And that means that we can't really say like, oh, well, in 2011, this person's surprise upset, and that's my logic. No, like, it's just not going to apply this year. Like, you kind of got to go off of what you think the taste is based off the nominations. And last year they had, you know, a lot of the international members anyway. So, I mean, maybe it'll be a little like...
I would go a little off of taste, because them shunning Everything Everywhere All at Once, except for in the acting categories, makes me think a little bit that there could be a similar fate or similar attitude about giving Barbie the wins. Barbie seems like a little bit of that kind of silly movie that maybe they would prefer something like Poor Things or take it a little bit more seriously. And there's a lot of movies this year that got nominations in every category that they were supposed to. Killers, Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Poor Things. So these are all contending to win. I think all of them have a chance to win Best Film or Best Comedy Musical.
Sounds like you're basically already starting to predict comedy musical.
You want to go for that first? Poor Things or Barbie? I think these are the choices. American Fiction didn't land screenplay, which makes me think it's not going to win.
And the Holdovers missed screenplay and director.
Yeah, that's insane. I forgot about that. That was one of the things we were very surprised
I would have
about.
said that Holdovers would stand a chance to win here, because I do think Paul Giamatti could win, and it could be part of that. And maybe, I mean, if the movie was nominated in screenplay and director, I would say maybe screenplay is a possibility.
But can you say it?
Even win screenplay? You know, Barbie, I think a lot of people will predict, because, you know, after it led nominations at Critics' Choice and Golden Globes, a lot of people are saying, well, you know, that seems like it's overperforming. Maybe Golden Globe is going to be a total Barbenheimer sweep. But I do look at Poor Things and I say that got everything it needed to. Yeah, Barbie got 3 song nominations, and remember, it has that one BS category, the popular movie category, which is dumb.
Right. So if you control for that, where Poor Things doesn't have a shot to compete and Barbie gets 3 free nominations, in the popular film category, where that's a free nomination as well for the highest grossing film of the year, Barbie is left with 5 nominations, still very good. They didn't nominate score, and they could have nominated America Ferrera if they wanted to over-nominate the shit out of it. But then Poor Things has 6 nominations, and they did both supporting actor boys. So I don't think Barbie has the edge just because its nomination tally is higher. I think we really can't say that.
Although in normal years, that actually is like a pretty good way to predict the award. Is saying like, well, this movie has like 8 plus.
Yeah.
But I do agree that because of those categories, it's maybe a little less impressive. And Poor Things, I know that it's going to win Comedy Musical Actress.
Right.
And it could win Screenplay. And that would be a good package. And it kind of feels like Banshees to me a little bit.
If you want to make Everything Ever All at Once into Barbie, then you could make Poor Things into Banshees. That's kind of going on in my brain as well. I think it's close here, but I think I'm going to give the edge to Poor Things.
Poor Things is a lot of people's favorite movie of the year. I think
and nobody doesn't
more
like
so
it.
than Barbie.
I am anticipating that Poor Things might give Oppenheimer, if it is the frontrunner, a run for its money down the line. I really wonder if that could happen, and the reason is it's coming out slowly right now. It's building momentum as people are seeing it. What if it just kind of peaks at the right time? Like, what if it has a really nice moment when it starts like going wide release?
December movies never peak at the right time, it seems.
I know that. I know it hasn't really happened. It hasn't really happened.
Maybe Barbie's stronger at the Oscars at the end of the day. I don't know, but I think here maybe we can see Poor Things win. Do Comedy Musical Actress. We already said it. It's gonna be Emma Stone.
Who's the runner-up here, if there is one? I guess it's Fantasia, right?
Yeah, or Margot Robbie, I guess.
In Barbie, yeah.
If you really wanted to.
That'd be interesting, you know, if if Emma Stone weren't here, I really wouldn't know who to predict, whether it's Margot Robbie or Fantasia. But regardless, I think Emma Stone's got it here. That'd be crazy if anybody
Emma Stone's
else
going to
won.
win.
That'd be crazy.
That's going to happen. And comedy musical actor, a category that some people think is between people, and I don't think it's really between people. I think this is Paul Giamatti's. I think it's easy, and I think that people are underestimating that he could win.
The Oscar?
The Oscar, yeah. If we learn that Bradley Cooper just isn't, then he's, I could see him winning like SAG, and he is number 2 in terms of winning critics groups behind Cillian Murphy. And it'd be like very nice. It would make me feel warm for him to win an Oscar.
The alternative here would definitely be Jeffrey Wright in American Fiction.
Yeah.
I mean, that's for sure.
Best drama.
Obviously, like, I'm going to say Oppenheimer just because, like, that seems like a picture director winner here.
Yep.
And supporting actor. I mean, we'll get to that later.
There's no part of it that seems like the Golden Globes, new or old, would have trouble going for this.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say it's out of the question that they throw us for a loop and Killers of the Flower Moon wins Best Drama. I mean, How many times have we thought we knew what's going to happen at the Golden Globes and then something completely different does?
A lot.
It's happened a lot. I mean, even The Revenant winning, like, I know in retrospect we think, oh, that makes a lot of sense because it came close to the Oscars, sweeping director, but no one thought that was happening. No one thought that The Revenant was going to win when it won the Golden Globe.
1917 did the same
And
thing.
1917 was the
and
exact
Bohemian
same
Rhapsody,
thing.
people thought Star Wars was going to win. Killers also really fits the bill. Like, last year we thought that they were going to go for... What do we think they were going to go for?
Were we being insane? We were being insane.
Last year we were trying to be insane. Top Gun. Obviously Top Gun didn't have that many nominations, though.
Sure.
Really, Oppenheimer makes a lot of goddamn sense. But I do think Killers, in many years, would stand a great chance to win. Like, Killers is total Globes bait. They love Martin Scorsese. They really do love Martin Scorsese. But it just feels like this year they are going to go hard for Oppenheimer. They could win like 5 Golden Globes, if you really think about it. It could win score, it could win actor, supporting actor, it could win director. Put all those together. If Killers won only actress and Scorsese's not taking director, then it'd be weird for Oppenheimer to lose at that point, Just in terms of what it can win, like that, it may be a big Golden Globes party for Nolan. I could see them going for a big party for Nolan.
Yeah, but I definitely don't feel as safe with Oppenheimer here. What if this new voting body is very much like the highbrow critics and they go for Killers because that's what those bodies have been going for?
Yeah, but it's been edging out Oppenheimer just barely at those awards too.
Yeah.
So in terms of like what's appealing to critics, it's not like one movie's way over the other. I'd be shocked if Oppenheimer didn't win. It's not that I don't think that Killers has a chance.
Yeah.
But I'd be shocked. I'd be like, wow, if that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, I'm feeling like Killers is just going to do a little less well at the industry awards, but not in terms of nominations, just like in terms of picking up wins. I don't know if it's going to be super win competitive in the best film categories, but Golden Globes does their own thing, right? So I'm kind of watching out for it. Best director we can kind of segue into from here, right? Nolan is the pairing, right? And Nolan feels like, if anything, Oppenheimer is going to win Best Director here. The person who might win instead could be Scorsese, right? Like, they could go Scorsese and director.
Yeah, they've given him 3 awards. People, you could argue that he's just a Globes favorite.
But this year feels like it's so Nolan's year that he will get everything.
And remember, people thought that he was gonna. I think people thought he was gonna win or people thought him or Bong Joon-ho was gonna win that for the Irishman year. But yeah, I think it's Nolan. I mean, his movie was like more gargantuan. It was more gargantuan.
And I just don't want to overthink it. Best actor, Cillian Murphy or Bradley Cooper. It is the race of the season. It's the talk of film Twitter.
Maybe the race of the night. Maybe the race of the night in terms of what
because
I think
it's
is
important
most interesting to see.
What they're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Golden Globes usually go along with like giving it to Oscar baity performances, even if they're not the ones that like film Twitter likes to get behind. I mean, look, anything can turn around at SAG. Remember Austin Butler last year? People thought that him beating Brendan Fraser, they thought rest in peace Brendan Fraser, because you're putting these two baity performances up against each other, and then Austin Butler wins. Well, I guess that's it, and that's not what happened.
Part of the big deal for Golden Globes is that they're the first televised awards event where like all the actors show up, they get on stage, they make a speech. That's like why the Golden Globes is important. And it even was coasting on that fact with like 80 members before they went and like tried to do their revamping and widening their voting body, right? So it's just important to get up there and make a speech, and then people start like feeling the vibes. And yeah, it doesn't always translate. Like last year it didn't, so I don't know how much we can really put stock into that. But whoever makes the speech for Best Actor here, you know, it's significant, like people wanting to copycat it or moving against. I don't know.
We're always going to overestimate it. Remember when Nicole Kidman won and everyone was like, well, I guess it's her now.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't. People thought Chastain losing was like, well, rest in peace. Again,
right.
Like, sometimes things seem a certain way. People thought, well, Jamie Lee Curtis, like Golden Globe's favorite, if she's going to lose here, then surely she won't win the Oscar.
Yeah, like last year, I really can't justify anything I'm saying when I look at last year. I will.
Well, that's why I think,
concede.
like, even though I want to say that maybe you should just go with whoever you think is winning the Oscar here, I think that there's definitely a possibility Bradley Cooper takes the Globe and Killian takes the Oscar, or vice versa.
Yeah, I feel like whoever wins here, I'm not even going to care that much. So maybe I take it all back and I say it's not that important.
I think it'll come down to SAG. I am going to say that they're going to go really all in for Oppenheimer on this very night.
I feel like Cillian Murphy is leaning towards Oscar, but I think he has maybe the edge right now. But I think I'm going to predict Bradley Cooper here.
I think we also are susceptible.
Bradley Cooper's also nominated in director, so they clearly like respect him. They respect Maestro.
True. It does feel Golden Globesy to do that. If you want to say that matters.
It feels like
I'm also taking into account the fact that the international voting body is like are the new overlords of the Golden Globes. Like I think the OG Golden Globes actually would probably predict Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
But I think that because they're a little different, I think they might lean a little more like
perhaps
away from the Cooper. I wouldn't be shocked if Bradley Cooper won, but Cillian Murphy, he starred in as Oppenheimer in like one of the biggest biopics ever. So I feel like the guy who's starring in the biggest biopic ever is gonna win some awards there, despite Bradley Cooper having all the makeup or whatever,
and despite Cillian Murphy's performance not being like the typical Oscar bait biopic performance where you throw makeup at them until they disappear.
Fine, but it's not that far off from being that even.
I don't know, it doesn't really resemble like a Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour. Like
it doesn't, but it's still a big biopic performance.
Yes, I agree, it's a biopic performance, it's a massive movie, if it's Best Picture winning, then he's the lead, then how the heck are you going to say otherwise?
But I also think that we're likely to be susceptible, or perhaps maybe more than you, since you're predicting Cooper. I might be susceptible to just, oh, look, he's winning all these awards so far. Like,
and Cooper, is Cooper not winning a lot of awards so far?
He won like one.
Critics really love to take the opportunity to not go for the award that's trying the hardest. And like,
they're not even nominating Mulligan that much.
So we're going to split on this one. We're going to be different.
Why not?
That's a good category to be split in because that's how I feel about it. Best Actress. This is Lily Gladstone or Carey Mulligan, I guess?
Or Sandra Hüller.
Or
if
Sandra
Hüller. If you
Hüller.
want to make the Isabelle Huppert argument. International argument. But at the same time,
sure,
Sandra Hüller,
but
she is not winning critics awards except for like LA critics. Like it's been between Gladstone and Stone. And I would say even if you look at like Isabelle Huppert winning, I think she was taking more awards. Like there was a little more, and she'd been around a little bit longer in terms of like people knowing who she is.
Yeah.
So although I do think that maybe this international body that did like Anatomy of a Fall and did nominate it for drama and screenplay could maybe surprise with Sandra Hüller win, and I would cheer and clap my hands.
Yeah.
I do think it may be more possible to go with somebody else. If Mulligan wins, I'd be pretty surprised about her beating Gladstone. Because Gladstone is having a goddamn moment.
It doesn't feel like it feels like it's way more Gladstone's moment than Carey Mulligan's moment.
People are not like trying to make Carey Mulligan happen.
I think Carey Mulligan would be a number 3 for me here. I think Sandra Hüller is having a bigger moment just in general, like with her 2 films.
But then again, Nicole Kidman being the Ricardos, like nobody was trying to make that happen at all.
Yeah, that's true. But that's maybe like old Golden Globes.
Yeah, because they like
that
the
might be
the Look, I'm gonna go with the the what do you call it? The old man's logic. Say it's gonna be Lily Gladstone. I feel like that just makes sense. The tea leaves are on the table. A lot of people want it to be her year, and she might win the Oscar. I really don't know if I can predict Stone at this point because I almost like close my eyes and I'm like, is Stone really gonna like get up there and hold another one and be like, Lily, I wish you could have been up here. Like I feel like that's what would happen,
Oh, we've seen it in the past though. We have.
You're right.
Clearing the path for Lily Gladstone's Oscar. Like they're really just like already applauding and stepping aside and waiting for her to pass by. I will also predict Lily Gladstone because I don't want to overthink it here.
Yeah. If Gladstone lost, I don't know what I would think. Would I think she's done? Would I think that the disconnect between the Critics Awards, like it's just
you cannot elaborate that from the Golden Globes. You just can't.
I guess so.
You can't.
I guess so. But I
have
would
to smack
definitely
you.
think that Emma Stone was number one.
I mean, I would still have to smack you. I still don't think that's like that big of a deal.
Okay. Best Supporting Actor. This one is a tight race. It really is. And even critics groups have been very split on who they're giving the award to. You got
Who are they
Robert Downey
between?
Jr., who's kind of like the conventional logic for thinking he's going to win.
Absolutely.
But the race is close enough where something could happen. There's lots of people who are on Team Ryan Gosling. And especially if Barbie happens to have a big night.
And do you think critics are on Team Ryan Gosling, as in he's been winning?
Oh, he's been winning some critics awards.
But I think you pointed out to me, Robert Downey Jr. has the most critic awards by far, does he not?
It's not by far.
It's not by far?
Not by far.
Who's in second?
Ryan Gosling.
Charles Melton is
behind Gosling by like 2.
So they're kind of splitting it.
And even Ruffalo has a
them.
small handful.
I would kind of rule out Melton from winning, but that would be fucking awesome.
They gave May December 4 nominations. Just saying.
Okay, well,
it was well received
Very well
by
received,
the
that's true.
Globes. And because they seem to have highbrow taste this year, maybe they'll do an excellent thing.
All right, fair enough.
I'll just
I
say
can't rule it
that's
out.
a maybe. I still think Robert Downey Jr., like, there's a lot for him.
Yeah.
I may be predicting a big Oppenheimer sweep here at the Golden Globes. I don't know when the last time a movie won 5 awards at the Golden Globes is, but, you know, maybe that'll happen. If Barbie won comedy, I think it's very possible Ryan Gosling could go along with that. Maybe even Mark Ruffalo surprises and he wins,
Yeah.
and then people go, oh my god, it's just like Sam Rockwell. 3 Billboards
Yeah,
or
I
something
do
like
think
that.
that's possible because Mark Ruffalo gives a performance that's enough to give you an Oscar, I think.
I guess so.
And people are talking a lot about how they could never see him in the role, and yet he knocks it out of the park. I don't know if I believe in Ryan Gosling winning awards.
You don't think he might win Critics' Choice?
Well, maybe Critics' Choice, but
And maybe SAG, if they have a Barbie party?
I guess I can't refute what you're saying. I want to go with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I just do.
Like, in the supporting actors category last year, like, in my gut, I was like, I literally don't know what the fuck to do. And then I went with Angela Bassett and happened to be right. But this year, in this category, I'm like, I know it's kind of close, but I'm leaning a certain way. I'm definitely leaning a certain way. Supporting actress, now this is probably also a no-brainer. Divine Joy Randolph has been sweeping all the Critics Awards. And the only person who's been getting anything else is Rachel McAdams, who is not nominated. Unfortunately, she's just not taking off. Danielle Brooks seemed like she could be, you know, the runner-up or a contender to win, but that movie didn't do that well here. So what are you going to say about it? What are you going to say about it?
I think all you can say is Divine Joy Randolph.
Can I propose to you, though, the possibility of Emily Blunt winning? Just as a surprise. Maybe like a Jodie Foster Mauritanian, whoa, what the fuck is this? Like, what's happening
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, that could happen, but less likely with the new Globes, it feels like. Because even the nominations for the Globes seemed very kind of in line with what the critics were doing in general.
There's a very real possibility to me that Divine Joy Randolph takes all the televised awards, unless SAG maybe like goes with Brooks, and we'll see what happens there. But I think at least for now, people are feeling Randolph pretty hard. In screenplay, this is actually a category where I think that there are a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
Lots of things could happen. You could have Barbie win. That is something that people are predicting to win the Oscar. And it makes sense. And if the movie won Comedy Musical Picture, I think it would be fairly likely that it could win screenplay here. But I also want to point out this. It's kind of weird that Barbie has 9 nominations and we're only predicting it for song, aren't we? But I do think that Poor Things, if that's going to win Comedy Musical, which is obviously, you know, not guaranteed, I could see them doing it in the way they did Banshees. The movie's got that super witty dialogue. And I think they do like to go for like dialogue heavy screenplays here at the Golden Globes, very righty stuff. I mean, Barbie is that too. The Golden Globes is basically a critics group this year. And maybe Poor Things is their thing. Actually, they're not really a critics group because you know what's winning the most critics group awards here? The Holdovers is winning the most screenplay awards.
Yeah, I was going to say, if the Holdovers was here, I would be very torn between that and whatever else.
I know. If the
I
Holdovers
might
was in
even
director
predict
and
it.
screenplay, I might have predicted it. And I
Yeah.
might have even predicted it for Comedy Musical Picture. I don't know if like maybe they do like giving it to writer-directors, but Poor Things is a hell of a script. It really does.
It would be interesting if they split the comedy musical and the screenplay category between Barbie and Poor Things. It'd be very interesting. Almost unlikely. Almost feels a little unlikely that they would do that.
They might, though. They sometimes give things like just screenplay, and Birdman won screenplay, but not Comedy Musical Picture. I will say they haven't given it to a non-writer-director since Slumdog Millionaire. That's also maybe a fair reason if you want to predict Barbie. Be a good award to give to Greta Gerwig.
So I have to go into my brain and think about like what my vision is for this. Gerwig wearing pink on stage. Baumbach, I don't know, having a pink tie or bow tie perhaps.
Should I show you what Tony McNamara looks like so you can see?
Thing is that Barbie definitely has the name behind it that you want to give the award to, right?
Well, is it important with the new Golden Globes? Because it's definitely important with the old.
I think it's important no matter
where
where
the
you
old
are.
Golden Globes, I'd be.
I
maybe-
think no matter where you are, though, it's still important. Maybe I will predict Barbie here.
Will I predict Barbie here? Because I was pretty ready to say, like, Poor Things makes sense to me.
Yeah, what if they just split the love, though?
When we predicted Banshees, we were like, okay, well, we know they like McDonough. They have a history of giving him his film the award. They didn't nominate Lanthimos for director for The Favorite. Like, they don't really have, like, a history of particularly liking Lanthimos.
Forget the history, though, you know?
I guess.
Forget it.
I guess.
Forget it. Get it out of your
guess.
brain. It's gone. It's going zero.
When I look at the previous winners, I think Gerwig makes more sense.
This is a really hard one. All right, I'm going to go with Poor Things. I'm going to switch it. Switching back and forth. I might switch right after we turn the camera off, in fact.
I don't know why I feel like Barbie and Everything Everywhere have something in common. Because they're silly, I guess.
I think they sure do.
I'm going to say Poor Things, too.
Okay.
And even if it does win, I'll still be surprised. Like, I'll just
Yeah.
be surprised that actually
It'll
happened.
feel like a surprise.
Well, the New Globes might not care as much about their star fucking and their celebrities getting up on stage. It's the old Globes who were able to live in LA and interact with the celebrities, and these people are just like hanging out in Morocco. Best score? I mean, I guess Killers could win if we really want to say that something else could happen. And, you know, actually, the Golden Globes, they have been a little weird in score before, but again, maybe the history is not good to go off of.
Oppenheimer feels like the biggest score of all time, and I can't go against it.
Yeah, I wouldn't go against Oppenheimer either.
I don't
This
think
is
it
like Hans Zimmer going to win for Dune.
Yeah.
Best song? You know, we know it's Barbie. We just have to think about which Barbie it is. I am torn.
You're actually torn?
Because
Because you were gung-ho on it's going to be I'm Just Ken.
I didn't, you know.
There's no
maybe for
way
the
that you're
Oscar.
going to end up predicting anything but that.
Billie
You're
Eilish,
gonna-
bitch.
So what?
Most people think that What Was I Made For is going to win the Oscar too, by the way. Most people think that.
None of my app.
They also gave it to RRR last year.
Yeah, they don't have a good time.
Over who?
I don't know. Lady
Rihanna
Gaga?
and Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just want to have a good time with song now.
I gotta
RRR
stick to my guns.
Launched us into a new era.
You're right, I gotta stick to my guns.
No,
'cause
I'm right that you're definitely not going to go against it.
I gotta
'Cause
go
you've
with I'm
been
Just
saying
Ken.
it.
And it's because this one gets performed, and that's what RRR
You get to
did.
like feel excited.
How do you choose between the fun song and the heartfelt song? It's hard. It is hard to pick. It's a weird decision.
I guess, but I could see the more fun one being more of an easy song to check.
Animated feature, Spider-Verse, and Boy and the Heron both have a score nomination.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I'm not gonna say they can't outside shot it and go with Boy and the Heron, but I think Spider-Verse is the animated film still. I know some people are thinking like, oh, they might turn it around for Boy and the Heron, and that might be started winning. I just don't really think so.
I would consider The Boy and the Heron more for the Golden Globes than any other of the awards. They might even be the only ones going forward, like all the way through, who put that in score. So maybe they like it the most. Non-English language film.
That's obvious. Anatomy of a Fall.
How obvious is it?
Wait, never mind.
The Zone of Interest?
Never mind. I forgot the Zone of Interest is here. Okay, it's still Anatomy of a Fall though. Wait, Anatomy of a Fall, did that get screenplay?
Yeah.
And it's still Anatomy of a Fall.
That has an actress and a screenplay, and I feel like it's a little more of a broad, appealing movie. You know, we got we have 3 movies in the drama category that are here. Wait, we didn't even consider the Past Lives could win.
Could win what?
This.
What are we talking about again? Oh, yeah.
Non-English language film.
Oh yeah.
Because that's nominated because they fucking loved Past Lives. They liked Past Lives more than the Critics' Choice did.
Picture, director, writing, and actress.
We do know that Minari won the category back in the day.
Man,
but like
am
Minari
I
was
about
the
to go-
biggest contender overall, so that made sense. I mean, look, don't we think Past Lives is the biggest contender overall?
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna have to go off of principle and say Past Lives because I'm gonna
it's the
pick the film
biggest.
that's closest to Best
Oh,
Picture.
this is so weird. Anatomy of a Fall has been winning so many international awards, and like in my head, I thought it was just gonna win the Golden Globe, and then I just thought, I was like, oh my god, I'm right. Past Lives is there. The fact that Past Lives has director.
This is a really fun race because there's 3 films from Best Film.
We could do the Cursed Award if you want, the Blockbuster Award. Now, remember how
Why
I
not
said
have fun with
remember
it?
how I said Oppenheimer's winning 5 awards? Am I wrong? It's gonna win 6.
Oh, 6?
It's gonna win 6. Part of me like is interested in how this goes, even though
Yeah.
I hate this category and I would advocate it for it to be shot off into space.
But
as
you know,
soon
if
as
it's
possible.
here, why not have fun? And
No, but it's actually like quite fun
Yeah.
because Barbie and Oppenheimer are not competing in picture. I mean, look, we just said Poor Things is gonna win that award.
But the problem with this category is that it's not just the best film of the options. I think there's something else that's inserted into the mind of the voter, essentially, which is like most box office movie.
That's why this category makes no fucking sense.
Exactly.
Fundamentally.
It makes no sense.
Because
So
you have to consider
every
two
other
factors,
category,
and there's no telling how much the person's supposed to weigh them.
it's going to be very strange how they decide to vote on it, and I can't really put myself in the shoes of a voter because I might see Oppenheimer here and I might go, well, that's in my best film category, so I'm going to go Barbie here because, heck, this is the Blockbuster Award, right?
If Barbie were to win comedy, musical, and screenplay, maybe even supporting actor.
Yeah.
And then it also won this category, would you
Yeah.
think that that means that the Golden Globes liked Barbie more than Oppenheimer?
No. I just think Barbie made more money than Oppenheimer. In fact, I might predict it here.
Really?
Because it's the biggest popcorn event of the year. Just the fact that Oppenheimer, a straightforward bio, made almost $1 billion is insane. Like, nobody would have predicted that. No one would have seen that coming. It's a greater feat than Barbie making money. But Barbie made more money, and it was more of a phenomenon pop culturally because of, like, Pink, I guess. I don't know what to do, but I'm gonna go with Barbie. I'm gonna base it on the idea that they're gonna see it as, like, the blockbuster popcorn movie. They're gonna give Barbie this consolation prize.
That's like,
and
but
go,
do
and
you
go
think
with
that's
poor
too many
things.
steps to assume that many voters are going to go through these steps to vote for a movie they like less?
I have no fucking idea though, but like I don't know how to judge the category.
And then Greta Gerwig gets up there after all, huh?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, they're not.
That's
gonna
why
get,
she's in Pink in my.
They're
in my
not
That's
going to
So
get rid
Raven
of the
vision.
category. They're not going to get rid of the category.
See, I was having
happens.
a That's So Raven moment, but just as in the show, I didn't realize like what I was exactly seeing. I was seeing Greta Gerwig up there in Pink, but really, she's not accepting the screenplay award. She's accepting the popular film award.
Was Noah Baumbach there?
Well, he
so
was
it's
sort
not
of
gonna-
like a shadow in the background that I could barely make out. So I'm gonna say like maybe he's there, maybe he's not. I don't really know.
Weirdly, I kind of agree that like I just feel like maybe they'll just give a little spreading of the love to Barbie.
Barbie could
I
also
hope-
win comedy, and then that wouldn't really be a spreading of love. It would just be like another award to stack onto its trophies.
I hope this category goes away as soon as possible. Those are the Golden Globe predictions. I feel like we played it sort of safe, but you look, if it's surprising, then it'll be even more fun. Hopefully. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
If you were voting for the Popular Film Award, how would you subjectively weigh the box office aspect of achievement versus the best part of the achievement title of the award?